Welcome back to my channel, where I like to share any and all things that bring me joy, hence the name Sharelation. This is part 2 of my video of handbags that I've sold throughout the years and whether I gained or lost any money on them. Now, this is a continuation of a video I did earlier, which was just featuring Chanel and Hermes bags. This video talks about other brands like Gucci, LV, and some contemporary brands like Tory Burch and Everlane, etc. So without further ado, let's jump into the remaining bags that I have sold and how I did on them. First bag to feature here is the Gucci Soho Disco bag. I got it in the color red, which is such a classic color. I always liked this silhouette because I find a camera bag to be very easy and casual and everyday. I decided to let this one go because I just didn't gravitate it towards using it anymore. I have the mini Everlane in a kind of a darker red color, and I'm not a really big red bag person, which I realized, and I thought that, I should just rehome this while it still had somewhat of a decent value. I originally wanted to sell it on eBay, but decided not to because the fees now are just way too high, and there is always a risk of running into someone that would try to scam you. For example, they would claim that you're selling them a fake bag and then return a fake bag back to you that looks very similar but is not the same. I've seen and heard stories like that so much. In the end, when I went with Rebag, I only got 58% of the price that I paid back in my wallet. And it's sitting in my Rebag wallet. And if you watched my last video, you know that if you sell a bag to Rebag and leave the funds there month after month for up to 12 months, you can gain 2% back in extra cash in your account if you hold off on spending it. So if I wait about 12 months, which is the maximum that they would give you, 2% back for 12 months would give me actually 65% of the purchase price back. Still a loss and somewhat of a lesson learned, but I realize now more and more that you never really get all your money back, depending on the brand and the item, of course. So just something to keep in mind when you're purchasing something. It's just something you really want to love and use. And if you're okay losing some money, in this case, it was okay. I mean, I did use it, so it didn't all go to waste, but it's just something to be aware of. Next up is this Louis Vuitton Epi Leather Soufflot bag. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but if you've been into Louis Vuitton for a while, you would have seen this bag and have be quite familiar with it. This bag is an interesting one because it's one of the very, very first luxury pieces that I ever purchased. It was actually gifted to me by my husband, and we had bought it off of a site called eluxury.com. Let me know in the comments below if you remember that website. Back in the day, this was a website that sold Louis Vuitton bags as well as other luxury items, and you didn't have to pay sales tax on it. In hindsight, I wish that were the case here now and that site still existed. So this bag was actually purchased in 2006. I kept it all these years. To be honest, I rarely used it because I didn't really have an occasion to use it for, and the shape was in a way difficult for me to use, and it was just one of those pieces where I felt like it didn't fit into my lifestyle. I kept it all these years because I never thought about selling it, and to be honest, I decided to let it go, and I let it go in the year 2020. And with the years that I've had this item, although most of the time it was just sitting on the shelf, I ended up selling it and only got 57% of what I paid for back in my hand. Now, in hindsight, I'm of two minds of this thinking is that, yes, I lost almost half of my money, but this was from 2006. I've had it all these years. I appreciated it. I used it from time to time. Not a whole lot, but it was just something that I owned. And to be honest, after all these years, I was able to get 57% of what I paid for back. So, not too bad, given the number of years that I had this bag. The next Louis Vuitton piece is the LV 6-key holder. I got this just a few years back, and I had a $100 gift certificate from Saks Fifth Avenue that I wanted to use it on. So I went to my local Saks Fifth and walked into the LV kind of department in that section of the store and purchased this item. So after I sold it, if you count the $100 gift certificate as sort of cash or money that I spent on the item, after I sold it on eBay again, after fees and shipping and whatnot, I actually got 69% of my money back. And if I didn't count the $100 gift certificate as kind of my own money, because it was also a gift, so you can see it two different ways, I would have earned around 6% on top of what I paid. So the money I actually spent along with the $100 gift card, if I don't count the gift card, I would have earned 6% back. So overall, it was a gain in that sense, but then also a loss in the sense of if I counted the $100. And depending on how you want to see it, this item, did recoup a decent amount of money for the price and the item that it was. The last Louis Vuitton piece that I've sold, which was actually quite recent, is this LV mini pochette in the damier azure pattern. This has been discontinued. I'm not sure when it was discontinued, so I think it was recent. I'm not really sure. And given all the price increases, I decided to let this one go because I didn't really want to use this day to day, as I think over time I would get it really dirty. It would just get beat up. And I also have the same exact one in damier ebene. And that one is just so carefree. I wouldn't be so worried about it getting dark or fading or anything like that. So I decided to let this one go while it was still in very much pristine condition. So the buyer was somebody I met in one of those bag forums. Again, we met in person in a local place near where I live. And I actually gained 64% back. I've gained a 64% on top of what I paid for originally. And this is one of those rare cases where it's all thanks to the price increases that Louis Vuitton has made on this particular item throughout the years. And probably also the fact that it's been discontinued contributed to my gain. So it was a very good investment in that sense. But as you can see, with all the items that I've spoken about in this video and my last one, this is one of the rare ones that I actually earned a decent amount on compared to the price I paid. Next up is this Tory Burch mini Perry tote. I think it's called the mini triple compartment Perry tote. This was a somewhat well thought out purchase on my part. I was really umming and hawing over the Celine Nano luggage tote, which I do have, and I wanted the gray color. It was one of those things where I didn't want to spend that kind of money on the Celine bag, but I always had my heart set on it. And then I saw this one, and I thought, this is a really great alternative. It's very affordable. I think I bought it on sale. I'm pretty sure I did. But after owning it for maybe like half a year, I'm not sure. I don't really remember, but it wasn't very long. I decided to part ways with this one because I really wanted the Celine Nano luggage tote. And fast forward, I did get that tote in the gray color as I had wanted, and I let this one go. So with the amount that I spent, and I sold this one on eBay as well, and the amount that I recovered and got back compared to what I paid for, I got 88% of my money back. So not too bad. I think it's because I sold it when the bag was still fairly popular. It was a whole series of bags, like they had the mini version and they had the tote style in various different colors. And I still really liked it. It was a very functional bag, very convenient. It's just one of those things where I learned my lesson in purchasing something instead of what I really wanted. And in this case, I didn't really lose a whole lot of money. It wasn't a lot at all, like probably 20 something dollars, and I got most of it back. So it's just the hassle that you have to go through to sell something because you decided it's not going to work out for you, or you no longer want the item. Next one is the Everlane mini tote. So this is I think this came out a couple of years back, and they had the black color and I think like a very muted yellow color. Very nice, and it was very affordable for what it was. So I purchased it because I just thought it was another casual, easy to use bag, and I did enjoy it for a period of time, but then decided to start to downsize what I had and really just focus on some of the items that I really wanted to use more, and this, to be honest, wasn't really one of them anymore. So after I sold it, I sold this on eBay, and I recovered 67% of my money back. So not too bad, given that Everlane is really just a contemporary brand. It's not really, really sought out for. I mean, it's not too expensive, so I'm, getting almost 70% of my money back is not bad after using it for a while. But it's just another lesson learned that if you buy too many of these contemporary brands and you sell and buy and sell, you do end up losing some money, and it's just sort of the price you pay for using it for that period of time. And the longer you have it in your collection and using it, the value can depreciate, as with anything. So just something to keep in mind. Again, a lesson learned for myself as well. Here's another Everlane bag that I sold not too long ago. This is called the Everlane Mini Form Bag in the color Cognac. I used this for a decent number of times as well. I thought it was a very convenient little shoulder bag or crossbody bag, high crossbody bag, like the model shown here, and very neutral color. I have nothing against this bag, and it was just one of those things similar to the last Everlane bag I talked about, where I just didn't get to rotate through it enough, and I didn't want to just keep accumulating bag after bag, and decided just to let this one go because I had other kind of camel color bags that I would prefer to use, like the Loewe puzzle bag, and at that time the Hermes Evelyn bag in the gold color, but now I have the Picotin in gold. But you see what I mean? Like when you start to have things that are similar color, similar size, similar function, or just casual enough type bags, you tend to not use these kind of bags enough. At least that was my case. So for the price I paid and the price that I the price that I sold it for, I recovered 63% of my money back. Again, not too bad for this particular item and its popularity. So again, another lesson learned to just steer clear of too many contemporary brands, because then you'll end up having too many. And for me, I just feel overwhelmed when I have too many and I can't use it enough, and it's just taking space in my closet. Last bag on the list that I recently sold, this took place within the past year or so, is the Lululemon micro backpack. I believe this may still be sold on the Lululemon website. Sometimes it's probably out of stock, but I think they still have it. And this is in the gold and black combination. I thought it was really cute, very easy to use as a casual crossbody bag, which is what I usually used it for. I think I used it a decent number of times before I decided to let this one go because it was very carefree again, and for the price that I sold it for, I recovered 58% of my money back. So not too bad given the price of the bag and the fact that it's still being sold on the Lululemon website, which you can get easily brand new. So the person that bought this from me, again, was from a kind of a back chat forum, and they got a decent deal for it because it was still in very good condition, and I got 58% of my money back. So these were all the bags and accessories that I've sold over the past 10 plus years, and some of the lessons learned, some of the reasons why I let them go. I thought you may find it helpful, and I would love to know what are some of your experiences on reasons why you sell something, and if you gained or lost any money on it, because in hindsight, all of these items, more often than not, you lose money. Sometimes you're lucky enough to gain a little bit, like I have shared in this video and the previous one. So if you have any questions for me, please leave me a comment down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you. And once again, stay happy and healthy, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Thanks, and bye.